So the next part is when I start to talk about the plan. Now, I've had this in some of my videos. I actually have a classroom, a section on it called the plan. It's more basic plan. This is a bit more in depth, and I'm not going to spend super depth, super depth time on it. That's my own phrase right there, super depth. Um, just for time's sake, getting through everything. And also anybody else that's joined us too, if you do need to leave, again, there'll be a replay. So don't worry about missing anything. You don't lose access if you leave the camera, anything like that. So, feel free to do what you need to do and come back to it. So if you need to take a break at some point, and I may need to get a refill on my coffee at some point, a little intermission or bathroom break. So, might be right after this part here. So get into that. Basically, there are a few steps here with the plan. Now, I mentioned early on in my introduction that it's going to seem like it's more work. You're like, it's already hard enough to pick up my phone, maybe jot some notes or, make a script of some sort and try and memorize it. It's a lot of work. And now I have to plan and research and record my thoughts and do all that. I'm like, that's too much work. At the beginning, until you get used to it, it's going to help you on the long run. It's what helped me get over my content creation hurdle of what do I post? Of what do I say this time? I have nothing to say anymore. Nothing. I think about it and just nothing comes to mind unless I'm like, yeah, it was a hard day today at work but I got through it and it's about determination and that's great. But at some point we have to bring some real value to our audience because they're expecting it. Not that that's pressure. That's why we do different videos. And you don't do this every time, but it will start getting you in that habit of doing it. So what you want to do is every video should have a purpose. So you should be like right now, if we're in promo mode, every video that you're doing for the promo is going to end up, your call to action, your CTA is going to be comment down below. I'll send you the details. Click the link. I'll get you an invite. Message me if you want to hear more about it. See if it's a good fit for you. You have to have a call to action. There's a purpose to that video. It could be inspirational, educational, or if I go back to my legendary marketer days, I think I called it edutainment, or a promotion showcasing a product, a service, or an offer, whatever that might be, a coaching offer. So the video will show my audience how to batch create TikToks to save time. That could be one thing. This tutorial will teach beginner creators how to edit videos easily. This content will inspire new business owners to stay consistent. It gives them you're hitting some pain point that they have. So how do you go about this? So how to purpose the video. The video's goal should guide the structure, tone, and message. So some examples for inspiration. Have you ever felt stuck trying to create videos? Here's a simple way to stay consistent and grow without burning out. I think we all know somebody who's burnt out in this space, and you felt it yourself sometimes before, if not burnt out. But others need to hear it at times. So the motivational call to action, imagine what you'll achieve if you stick to this process. Let me show you how I got through it. Because I'd be willing to hear that if I'm a viewer. Another one, struggling with video editing. This tool makes it 10 times easier. Check it out. Yeah, I want to make it easier. It automates the hardest parts of editing. Whoa, crazy. Click the link in my bio and try it out. Well, I got to check this out. You got to give something of value to your audience, something that they are going to wait to the end, because the hardest thing is not only stopping the scroll, but keeping them there. So if you're doing 2 to 3 minute videos and you look at your analytics and they're still only watching the first 3 to 5 seconds, don't do 2 to 3 minute videos. Do 15-second to 30-second videos. Keep your message shorter to begin with. And then you can grow from there once people start doing it. Or if it's a process video, if you're really trying to explain or get some education out there, you may need to do that. But maybe do it in a way where you can split the video up. I actually did one the other day where I just did my hook. I had almost a 3-minute video, and I was posting it on Facebook, and it asked me, "You want to make this a reel?" I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's make it a reel. I just took the first 10 seconds, which was my hook, and I stopped it. And there's a feature in Facebook at the bottom. There's a button where you can watch video, and you can link the longer video to your reel. So YouTube has the same thing. It has related video, I think it is. And you can watch the long form content based on the short form that they're watching. So if you're watching a 10-second video and I say, use this shortcut, and batch your clips, or they say it automates the hardest parts of editing. This tool makes it 10 times easier, and I stop. What is it? I got to find out. You're going to hit the related video, and then you're going to watch that 3-minute video. You're going to get a higher quality person, higher quality lead watching your video because they're more into it. The other people that scrolled away, you don't want them anyways because they don't want what you're talking about. It's okay. People watch our videos all the time that don't care. And we know that. No big deal. So once you have an idea of what you want to create, we want to do some researching. Now, we've heard of when you're doing engagement, when you're looking through comments or you're reading somebody else's posts, they introduce problems or pain points that people have. If you're looking through comments that others leave on others' videos, sometimes you're posting a comment and you see others' comments in there too. And sometimes you look at it and you're like, wow, they asked that question. It's so basic. They asked how do I post a TikTok? They don't know that. Then maybe you want to do a video on how to post a TikTok. So you can get so much value out of your comments or on TikTok doing the comments where you circle back with a video response. Doing those are amazing. I started doing those maybe a month ago or so, and I started bringing people out of the woodwork. I'm like, that's crazy. They started doing review videos for me and everything, and I was like, this is awesome. But also coaching calls. When you're on a coaching call or live, people bring up questions. Write them down, especially if it's something that you're like, oh, that's how you do it. Write it down. Do a video on it. Keep a log of these things. That way, you'll always have something to do content on. You'll always have a topic. Doing a poll or survey, on Instagram, TikTok too. At the end of your video, once you're done, before you post it, there's a way that you can do a poll and see if you can get some interaction that way. Maybe get some answers for what you're talking about. If you are on, see if I can go here. Here. All right. Still see my screen? Google up there, right? Okay.
Yep, got it.
So let's see. There's my perfection right there. What are the pillars of creating video content? Put that in here because we have our AI response up here. And if I scroll down, you get this. People also ask. These are all the related questions around that question that you just asked. And we all do it. We go in here and we look at it and say, yeah, that's not exactly it. This education, entertainment, engagement, and enrichment. Okay, that makes sense. And what are the 3 C's of content creation? Creation, curation, and conversation. So these are all questions that are out there. And these are the top questions because they're at the top of Google's list. You could take these questions and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 posts right there. So, and that's just one question. So there are endless possibilities with this. Oh, good. I picked the right tab. I think I got 63 tabs up on my screen. So that's a great way to research. And also, I'm going to go back here too. And if I go to my Instagram, there I am. Do a search. And let's see. Travel guide. I can click travel guide here. And these are the top responses for travel guide. Have a lot of nice views. The perfect 3-day in Rome. Great. I'm going to Rome in a couple of years. I would love to know what the perfect day would look like. Perfect 3 days there would look like coming from this person. Or where is this place? Or 8 must-dos in New Zealand. Go through and find something that appeals, something that you're like, hey, I've been to Sicily, Insider's Guide. I can add to what they put in. So it's not taking their content, it's using their idea and putting your spin on it, your experience on it. And you know that it's something that people want to hear because this is one of the top search things for travel guides. So that's a great way to search. So it's a lot of information and you can log it. I do use a log, not on everything, but I put when I found it, the source, I'll put the link to it. I'll put what Instagram account it was or TikTok account it was, what the pain point was, what the idea was, and status is the plan, filmed and posted. That's kind of we're in that step phase right now. But what this does is it defines your purpose to create the video. And again, if you're creating videos 3 times a day, probably not going to do it on every one, but you might do it on one of them because that's going to be, that's going to be your flagship video for the day. And then the other one's going to be something funny, and the other one's going to be like, hey, this is me. I got 30 years experience in sales, and so something like that. You don't really have to do research on. It's just because that's part of you, but it helps you to shape the video. Research the supporting data, so you see what others are asking. You know it because Google said so, and Instagram search and TikTok search said so. So people want to know that stuff, and now you're about to talk about it. So, and just write like a sentence or two, something short, just so that you remember what you looked at. It could be as easy as that. You don't have to have the link and the profile ID and the topic, and just write something that you know. So when you're like, I know I've done it plenty of times. You're doing a video and you're like, I forgot my main idea here. I know I was going to talk about clicking the link, but I got 500 links. Which one was this? So it helps keep you focused on it. And especially if you're doing batching, which there's different theories on batching. Because sometimes you want to live in the moment, and sometimes you just want to I don't know. Lost my train of thought on that one. So that's what happens when you hit record. Um, but you want to be focused on what you're doing, just like I was not. That was actually an example I showed you. So, uh, but why recording the goal matters. It gives you clarity, focus. It helps with consistency because once you start having complete thoughts through a video and you're focused on that video, you feel more rewarded at the end of it when you're done. You watch your video and you're like, yeah, that's my message, right? That's exactly what I was trying to say. You really reinforce your message. When you're looking at the lens and you're talking about what you really mean to talk about, that message and that confidence comes through. And once you know it, once you know that people need that message, is when people will start coming to you. They'll start looking for more of your content to find out what it's like to travel to Spain or what it's like to own a business and try and recruit more people that need to be more flexible and work out or eat right. So does it work for without writing it down? As a beginner or somebody who is inconsistent, somebody that you need to change something, but you're not sure what, trying it will reinforce your plan. And for somebody experienced, you'll get to the point where it comes natural. You have a process and it comes down to it. I have some templates and everything, which just basically gives you a blank line that you could fill in, print a couple of them, put them on your desk, write it down. Because usually you can do it digitally, but if you write it down and use blue ink, actually proven that blue ink has more energy to it and it actually conveys your thoughts to what you're writing better. But do it in blue ink and you write down what your goal is, and it reinforces it more in your mind. That's why we take notes usually on pen and paper, because that's how we remember it. Some of us that are old school, we know that. Some of us have bad handwriting, and even if we take notes, you can't read it afterwards. I don't know who. But so action steps here, write down the goal of your next video. Write it down. What's your goal? Am I after views? Am I promoting this product? Am I just getting a message out? Do I want to tell sons that they need to call their mothers and say, I love you? Whatever it might be. What's it solving? What's the audience? And how does this help your audience in one sentence? That's it. So that's step one. Again, it's a lot of information, but it's like it could take minutes. It could be quick. Once you get into it, you search TikTok quick, you jump on Google quick, you get some questions. Okay, I got a better, I was thinking about asking this way, but I'm going to ask this way instead because that seems the more popular approach. I'm going to do that instead. And it's those little tweaks that over time will help. It'll help your engagement. It'll help with people connecting with you.